Hello my loves and welcome back. And if you're new here, then thank you for joining me. So today we're going to do a sun salutation, but before I lose a lot of you that are just like, that's not for me, we're going to do it nice and gentle and slow. It's going to be great for beginners. We're going to do it a couple of times, offer some modifications, some different suggestions to your typical sun salutation. So if you're looking for a beginner version, variations, modifications, then let's try this. So my aim for this is to show you that sun salutations do not have to be this crazy fast flow. Although they are heat building, that heat can be a slow simmer rather than boiling over. You don't have to do chaturanga. You don't have to do upward facing dog. In fact, you can do any of the poses any way that you like. It is your practice. So come to stand at the front of your mat. Now, as you can see here, I've got a blanket, a folded blanket behind me, because we're going to come on to hands and knees in a little while. So if you know that you have some knee issues and you want some cushion for your knees, then have that behind you, just to have it nearby. You can also have a couple of blocks nearby, just so that you have them if your hands don't reach the floor. You can have those there too. Stand at the front of your mat, and again we're going to do this nice and gentle, nice and slow, and take our time and just feel your feet connected to the floor. Just settle in for a couple of breaths. As you think about the connection your feet have to the floor, you have more weight in the ball or the heel of your feet. We're going to build up gradually here. So the next time that you inhale, then sweep the arms out and up. As you exhale, bring the hands together at the heart center. Inhale, reach up. And this time, as you exhale, hinge at your hips and fold forward. Now, as you fold forward, this is where we kind of start our first modification. So if you feel that your hands don't connect to the floor, use a block underneath your hands here. You can use a couple of blocks. You can also bend the knees here. They don't have to be straight. What I would like you to do is to relax the head, the neck, the shoulders, let the arms rest here. So even if you're using a block or your hands connect to the floor, you're not pushing the hands down and straightening the arms. You're letting the torso just spill out of your pelvis here. Letting it all go. Surrender to gravity here with your torso. And from here, take the hands to the shins, and as you lengthen, slide up towards the knees here and lengthen the torso so that the crown of the head reaches forward and that your torso ends up parallel-ish towards the floor. Long spine here, lengthen forward. And then release and surrender back down. Now as you surrender back down, again, hands either to the block or the floor. And as you find yourself here, just let yourself kind of rest, relax, let it go. Bend your knees, unfold, and rise all the way back up. Sweep the arms up, bring the hands again together at the heart. So that is our half sun salutation. We've done the first standing part of the practice. So let's repeat that. Let's take an inhale, rise. Exhale from your hip crease, hinge forward. And as you hinge forward, again, surrender to the floor. Relax the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms. Hands towards the shins, rise and lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway here, a little upside down L shape here. And release. Now bend the knees a lot and bring your hands to the floor. As you bend the knees a lot, make sure that you've got some pressure at the hands to the floor, and step your feet back, walk them back, lift your hips up and take downward facing dog. And as you take down dog, so first down dog, I like to take a little pedal through my feet, warm up my ankles and my calves a little bit here. It's always a tight spot for me. So let's see if that feels right for you. And then settle in here. Slide forward into plank. Nice and long here, which is why we take that nice big step back in our downward facing dog. Drop the knees to the floor. So just as I said before, if you don't have something underneath your knees and you know that you need a little bit of comfort here, then take that comfort. Give yourself a little support. Now as you find yourself here, if I asked you to come straight down to the floor, it would kind of look something weird. What I want you to do is glide forward and down so that you let your torso connect to the floor all together. Draw your shoulders back and then just let your head, your shoulders and your chest lift away from the floor. Try not to crank the head back. Think about lengthening the crown of your head up towards the crown molding here rather than back behind you. And then release back down. Take a pause. Draw your navel to your spine, engage your core, and then push away from the floor. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, and take downward facing dog. Settling in, taking a breath or two here. And then bend the knees. Walk the feet up towards your hands. Find your forward fold once more here. As you inhale, maybe you lengthen forward, find halfway, and release. Bend the knees, unfold, rise all the way up, and bring your hands together at the heart center. Beautiful. So we're going to do that again, and this time we're going to take a couple of breaths and just do it a little bit quicker than previously. But if you need to do it a little slower, that's fine. We'll just take a couple of breaths in each pose. So next inhale, rise up, reach up. This is our upward salute. Reach. And as you exhale, fold. Take a breath. Inhale as you lengthen halfway. Next, exhale, release. Bend the knees, hands to the floor, and then step your feet back. Doesn't have to be just one step. You can little baby step it towards the back of your mat and let your hips lift. That upside down V position here. The heels do not have to touch the floor. Then the legs don't have to be straight. You can have a little softening to the legs here. Slide forward, take plank, pushing the floor away, and again, drop the knees to the floor. This is still plank here. Even though the knees are connected to the floor, the hips are in front of the knees, still plank. This is your modified plank. Glide forward and down. Don't come straight down, you'll end up short in your space. the shoulders back. And then lift and peel the chest away from the floor. Pause. Take a breath. And release. Strongly push to all fours. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up. Take downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Step the feet in towards your hands. Again, use blocks if you need to. Rise halfway. And release. Soften the knees, unfold, rise to standing. Bring the hands together at the heart. Now, as we come into our final version, we're going to move a little bit quicker. I'm going to give you some suggestions for your breath. Now, they're just suggestions. As long as you're breathing, I'm happy. But if you want to follow me and move with the breath, then that's fine too. So take a nice breath here, standing in Tadasana, feet rooted down, crown of the head rising up. Next inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, hinge and fold forward. Take a breath. As you inhale, rise halfway. Pause, take a breath. And as you exhale, next breath, fold forward. Hands to the floor. Bend the knees a lot. Step the feet back, lift your hips up. Take a breath, just one breath here. Glide forward to plank. Drop the knees to the floor and exhale, come down. On your inhale, draw the shoulders back, peel the chest away from the floor. And if you want a little extra challenge here, can you draw the hands and let them float away? Reconnect. And exhale, release. Navel to spine. Push to all fours, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up. Bend the knees. Exhale as you step in. Inhale halfway. And release. Next inhale, soften, rise up, reach up, hands to the heart, pausing, taking 3 breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Resting here, balanced, body, mind, heart and breath as one. Namaste.